Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Cryptids and Monsters of the Week video. As always, these Cryptids of the Week are just completely random. Whatever the random page there on the cryptids.wiki.com website brings up. That's why I love doing these, because I have no idea essentially of what I'm going to talk about. And whatever it lands on, if I haven't done it before, then I'll definitely mention it here. But in this case, it has to do with yet another mysterious cryptid, one that apparently inhabits a very remote location, a set of islands, in fact, that I'll show more here in a minute, and it seems to have almost a real-life counterpart when it comes to this earth. In fact, it seems to be a spawn of monitor lizards. Those are pretty ferocious creatures in of themselves, but here in this case, this one is larger and it has even larger teeth and is considered even more ferocious than its counterpart. So lots of great stuff associated with this random entry. Problem was, it's pretty hard to find like exact photographs or drawings of it. It seems to be that remote, that hidden when it comes to anyone being able to see it. So most likely you'll just see representations of it here. In fact, you're looking at one in it now, and it's known as the Kara-Duku. So let's go ahead and let's talk about all the fascinating info associated with this very, very mysterious creature. So here's how it goes. It goes by the name of Kara-Duku, but it's also known as the Kara lizard. Duku is apparently another name in the language of the people that live in those islands for lizard. And apparently the location it's at is at an area known as the Andaman Islands. In fact, you're looking at a picture of the islands themselves. You can see that they're pretty much out there within the Indian Ocean. In fact, they're a little bit close to the Myanmar areas. And the fact that, again, it's so isolated that it just happens to be within these islands that are just surrounded by water, again, gives it credence to the fact that this is a cryptid that could absolutely exist by itself as is, and maybe not have any interference from humans other than the occasional, let's say, accidental meetings when it comes to that. But yes, it has been identified before, not just by the locals there, but also by British explorers. And that, again, just leads more to its sightings and its encounters. As far as its physical description, again, it harkens back to its counterpart. Think of it like a monitor lizard, but larger, slightly different, like when it comes to how it looks like, and it has a giant set of jaws with very, very large teeth. Gives you the idea that this creature, just like a monitor lizard, would be on the hunt, definitely preying for other type of food that's out there. And then when it finds it, it's using its aggression, its quick actions, its large size, probably its massive legs as well, to be able to find and locate and then hunt its prey. And then when it does so, it starts eating it. The giant jaws, no doubt, would make it easier for anyone, like let's say if it's a larger animal, for these Kara-Dukus to be able to eat it whole or try to eat it in parts that are larger than usual from other animals too. But yes, think of it again, giant monitor lizard, slightly different, giant jaws, larger teeth. That's essentially what you're dealing with here when it comes to this Kara-Duku. Now, as far as the encounters that it's had, apparently British explorers that went there saw this creature, tried to identify it, tried to see if there was anything else that could associate what it could be as far as its existence, its history, its origin, but they were not able to do so. And it looks like some of the locals there were telling the British explorers of this creature, but again, there was no direct link as to what it could be. Initially, it was thought that it could have been more on the lines of a crocodile, but clearly, like a crocodile has a unique look, like it has a unique set of characteristics, especially with the very, very long snout associated with it, or the mouth in of itself, and here's something else completely different. So nothing like that. It could be more than lines considered of crocodile-like. But yes, encounters were made. In fact, there was a gentleman, a guy by the name of Mr. Porter, who said that the natives killed one of them there in the middle Andaman Island, and they in turn brought the bones over to him, and he was able to examine it and then see once again that it was a different creature altogether than any of the other ones normally encountered throughout either that part or throughout other parts of the world as well. So it gives you the idea, in fact, that again, this could be something just a spawn, like a different category of cryptids, like when it comes to this monitor lizard, or if it's just completely different from another. Interestingly enough, there was this iteration that this could actually be a variation of a sperm whale. Those are those very, very large whales with the massive heads, those that are infamous, in fact, for fighting some of the giant squids. So this was also brought into play, but it was in turn kind of like removed, because it seemed like it was more along the lines of whenever the name was being translated from the local native language over to English, whenever that happened, it seemed to link the word sperm whales rather than another different term. And so maybe that's just the only mistake. Like, it wasn't the fact that they were listed as sperm whales altogether, but more of like a variation of a sperm whale, but more along the lines of, for whatever reason, the name in of itself, when it's translated, came to that specific term. So interesting again that there's that link associated with it, but nothing else as far as, let's say, any more concrete link to that very, very large creature that's obviously found out in the ocean and happens to have its own notoriety, especially when it comes to its battles with the legendary giant squid. But that's pretty much it. That's all the info associated with this very brief and mysterious creature. There it is, hopefully somewhere out there within the Andaman Islands, and if they are, then maybe they'll be running into people I've been running into that can get more concrete proof, like let's say photographs, videos, or personal encounters. Of course, if everything is 100% safe, whenever that happens, then there's not going to be any problems. But other than that, because it's been so remote in terms of its location and so few when it comes to its encounters, it just continues to have little to no type of proof as to its existence. All we have now is just pretty much just eyewitness reports from the locals and the natives that are there, and of course with the explorers that were apparently shown this proof in terms of the bones. Whether they kept any of these bones, who knows? It doesn't seem like it, because it just happens to not have any proof associated with those bones. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all we have. But if anyone has any more info, anything else I might have missed, then please post those comments below. What about some of you that are there by that location, even as remote as he is, the Andaman Islands? If anyone has some experience on it on a local level, I'd definitely love to hear what your thoughts are on there. All right, everybody, thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.